Hello everyone, and welcome to another 13 Ghost video with me. We're going to go over the history, the story, my thoughts on the hammers. So let's get into the facts. In life, the hammer was George Markley. He died in 1890, and given his name is the Hammer, you're not going to be surprised. His weapon is a fucking hammer. But it is unique in the fact that the hammer actually replaces his left hand. He also uses spikes as a weapon on occasion, but we never actually see him doing this, just more threatening the possibility. When the hammer is around, you hear deep growling. The Latin inscription in the Aracanum for the hammer is Maligas Ignis, which translates to fire hammer. And again, I don't know Latin, so if I butchered that, please don't hate me. I did my best. He is the only African-American ghost in the Zodiac. An interesting thing about this character's backstory is he is the most understandable of all the killers that are amongst the 13 ghosts. His ghost file is represented by a railroad spike. An interesting thing regarding his makeup, Howard Berger, who is the special makeup effects artist, and you're listening to this, Howard, you did a fucking good job on so many levels, said that the hammer's makeup originally took about 4 hours, but as they did it more and more often, they were able to get it down to 2 hours. So let's get into the words, the story from the perspective of Cyrus Criticos. George Markley was a happy, honest blacksmith in the early 1890s, before the horrific events that transformed him into the hammer. A hard-working man named Nathan wrongfully accused Mr. Markley of stealing and threatened to run him out of their booming town. Knowing he was innocent, George stood up to Nathan and refused to move. One day, when George's wife and 2 children were walking home from a market, Nathan and his gang of thugs attacked them, brutally killing them. Enraged, George tracked down Nathan and his friends and beat them to a pulp with his massive blacksmith's hammer. The local townspeople captured George and dragged him back to his shop, where he received a brutal form of frontier justice. Tied to a tree, nails were driven deep into his body with his own hammer. They finished the job by cutting off his most prized possession, his hand. Crudely fastened to his severed appendage was the tool of his livelihood, the hammer, readied for one last chance at vengeance. I would put the hammer's design as one of my top 3. Ink Princess is definitely number 1, but we haven't talked about my second. But I would put this as my 3rd favorite design, which is hard because there's so many awesome designs, and the makeup people, the design people, the concept people, everybody did really good at making this character scary, fucked up, tragic. He is extremely tragic with his backstory. His chainmail apron was definitely hard to draw. Technically, I've drawn this twice, and both of them, it's the weakest part in my opinion on each piece, but I did the best I could. I am still proud of what I accomplished. So there you have the story, my thoughts, information on the hammer. Thank you so much for watching this video, and from my dark heart to yours, have a wonderful day. Before you decide on revenge, think it could mean your death, so you don't die before my next video.